Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Changwon International Shooting Range, this beautiful world-class facility as we near the last few days of the 52nd ISSF World Championships. I have to admit, it feels like we've been here for a couple of months, let alone just over a week. In a good way, though. It's been such a pleasure to be here. And this, what we're going to see now, is actually going to be the last final in this finals hall. It's the junior women's 50-meter rifle 3 positions. And we're just about to be introduced to the athletes. My name is Shaq, and with me, I'm really pleased to be joined by yesterday's silver medalist in the junior men's event, Zarlan Pekler of Hungary. Zarlan.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody.
We'll talk to you throughout the final, but we're just about ready to introduce the athletes, 8 of them on the range in the kneeling position, first stage of the final, and our announcer, Jamie Stangroom, is going to take it away.
Rifle 3 positions, women's junior event will now begin. So let's
I have to say that we've had some really enthusiastic and fantastic crowds here, but it's really thinning out now, especially because so many of the senior rifle and pistol shooters have gone home. So firing point A is Iran's Fatime Karimzadeh, 19 years old. She's been a regular at the Asian Championships in the finals of those, but this is her first international 3 positions final.
Representing the Russian Federation. She competed at the Junior World Championships in Seoul last year and is making her debut final appearance at an international event.
Yeah, it's another debutant for the 20-year-old Russian, Maria Ivanova. Never been in a final before. In fact, there's a couple of athletes in that position today.
Italy. The 18-year-old has made it into 2 junior finals in the 50
A lot of them look
event, the most recent being this
happy to be here,
World Cup, and this
understandably. 18-year-old Nicole Gabrielli. Again, it's her first Olympic-style final, meaning that she's qualified before in the top 8 of the women's prone event, which is a non-Olympic final.
She won 10-meter air junior gold at the European Championships in Maribor 2017. Let's give a Changwon welcome to
This girl is the youngest competitor on the field today, Jade Bordet, French girl. 6th place at the European Championships in Azerbaijan last year. And she has won a career gold medal. It was junior gold. She was the junior European champion just over a year and a half ago. USA's Morgan Phillips. 20 years old, and she qualified first today with a score of 11.71, and that was 6 points ahead of the second-placed qualifier, Zhu Hong. And this is Zhu Hong who qualified second, so she qualified with 11.65. She's competed in 2 events before. She won medals in both of them, but they were both air rifle. So this is her first 3 positions final.
And on firing point G, representing Switzerland, her first ISSF event was this summer's Seoul Junior World Cup, where she got into the final.
Franziska Stark, or Stark, is 19 years old. So she did make the 3 positions final at the Junior World Cup in Seoul 3 months ago. She finished 8th there, and she'll be hoping to better that today.
On firing point H, representing the People's Republic of China.
Here's a 20-year-old we know nothing about. She did appear in the air rifle final this week, but before that, it's her first ever international competition. So she's made both of the finals that she wanted to compete in. It is Jiao Ying-zhang of China, and Mr. Wataru Fuji of Japan is the jury member in charge, and Mr. Kim Nam-hee is the chief range officer for today's final.
For this final is Mr. Kim Nam-hee of the Republic of Korea.
There he is. So that's our lineup. Quite a few of them have never made a final before, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. So Zarlan, congratulations on your silver medal yesterday. How do you feel 24 hours later?
Oh, thank you so much. It's very good to be here in this final, that I can see what the girls will do. And I have to say that I'm really pleased that I'm here, and I'm very happy that I made it to the silver medal. And I hope the girls will shoot a very exciting final.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously you have quite a few medals, and you added to that yesterday. But you know how these girls will feel now at the start of the competition. It's different to the qualification. They've now got a crowd behind them, and there's a bit of cheering going on. So what kind of emotions do you think they're going through at this stage?
Yes, it's very hard to shoot high results in the finals because they are under very big pressure, much bigger pressure than in the qualifications, and it is very hard to do your best in the final.
Well, the competition's just now starting with 3 series of 5 shots in the kneeling position. And we should remind our viewers that it's not, of course, it's not easy, but it's certainly not an easy day for these shooters coming into the final because, I mean, they've spent nearly 3 hours qualifying. I mean, that's a huge amount of mental strength and physical strength that they have already needed before the final itself.
Yes, it is very exhausting to shoot the qualification in 3 positions because it's 120 shots. And after a qualification like this, you're very tired, also mentally and physically. And that's why it's very hard to shoot big results here in the final.
Yeah. So the qualification of 120 shots takes around about 2 hours and 45 minutes. I mean, it's huge. And then this is the longest of the finals, so it's nearly an hour. So, well, Morgan Phillips started well of the USA. 2 hits in the 10 ring, including a 10.6. Karamzadeh of Iran has just shot a 10.7 with her 3rd shot. The same shot for Jade Bordet of France. This is Morgan Phillips, who qualified first today with a very good score and quite a way ahead of her nearest competitors. As we said, it was 6 points ahead of second-placed qualifier today. 10.7 from the Swiss shooter Stark. And she shot very fast because she's already finished her 5 shots and she ends the series, the Swiss shooter, with 51.5. Zhang of China with a 10.8, her best shot of the series so far. 2 shooters finished with 51.5, the other one being Phillips of the USA. One more shot to go. That's going to come from the Russian Ivanova.
Stop. So that was our first series of...
So there's 2 athletes in joint 6 at the end of that series. Gabriele of Italy and Zhang of China. And Ivanova 1.5 away from the others at this very early stage of the final.
So as you'd expect in these early stages, it's pretty tight out there, and we have our second series of 5 shots now.
For the next competition series, low.
So Zarlan, is this your second World Championship? Because last year they had specifically a Junior World Championship in Seoul, and you competed there as well?
Yes, I competed there, but actually it was my 3rd Junior World Championships because I was also in Granada in 2014.
Wow, so you would have been 14 years old then?
Yes, I was 14. I was so young.
So young. What do you remember about that now, that experience in Spain?
Oh, it was very good and very beautiful. It was not my most successful World Championships, but it gave me a lot of experience.
Well, the Hungarian team is very famous in shooting, and you have some esteemed teammates, Peter Shiddi, for example, István Penny, obviously. So how is it like training with them?
It is very good to be in the same team with them. And actually, Peter Shiddi is from the same city as am I, and it means that we train a lot together, and it always helps me a lot to train with them because they are the best in the world.
It's great. The American Phillips has come with 2 great shots, a 10.7 and a 10.5, another 10.5 then. And the Russian Ivanova, well, this is brilliant shooting from her, 3 shots so far, one 10.9 and one 10.8. 10.8 also for Bourdet of France. So this is the second stage, the second series in kneeling. Is Ivanova on the left and Karimzadeh of Iran on the right. I'm just wondering if that's two 10.8s from Ivanova. Not quite.
I think that was 3 10.8.
3 10.8. Well, she finished that series 52.3. What an improvement. That's nearly 5 points better than her previous series. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that was a huge comeback from her.
Wow. Well, that's the best series of any shooter so far. No, I beg your pardon. Actually, Morgan Phillips, sorry, just shot a 52.5. That's another excellent score. Well, great shooting from both of those. And that means the Russian moves from 8th to 6th after that second series. And Phillips of the USA really continuing this final so far. How she finished qualification. .7 from Stark of Switzerland, who's currently in second as it stands. It's another 10.8 from Ivanova. Karimzadeh here shot a 9.3 with her first shot. As we were saying yesterday, good representation from Iran over these World Championships, particularly in the junior competitions. She just shot a 10.7. That was a good comeback from hitting the 9. It's an 8.9 from Stark with her fourth shot. That's two 10.7s in a row for the Iranian now. 3 shots for her so far. A 10.5 from Phillips to end her kneeling stage, and she finishes on 51. Karimzadeh of Iran just shot a 10.9. So she moves up to second, and she looks like she's going to get a very good score from this second series. Might even be able to reach 52 if she hits a 10.4. Here she is. It's a 10. So just under 52. A great score though, 51.6 for Karimzadeh, who is in second position as it stands. Here's Ivanova, the last to shoot. She just shot a 10.5 with her fourth shot.
Stop. On no.
And well, that's really good shooting from Ivanova. Just a couple of series ago, she was in 8th. I mean, she started, as we said, with a 47.5, but she's now in 4th. She shot a 51.6. The highest score in that series was Zhang, the Chinese shooter, 51.7. Some very good scores to end the kneeling position. And it's Morgan Phillips who's leading the final with 2.4. Already quite a healthy gap between her and second.
It seems to be a very strong final.
Yeah, there's some really good shooting, particularly at the top of the scoreboard.
Is Gabriele of Italy. Bit of a difference to make up there, a 4.1 on her.
So Gabriele of Italy, the 18-year-old, is in 8th place. She's 4 points away from 7th, but it's not until the standing stage where we'll have the first elimination, so a bit of time for her to make up that position.
This is the hardest part of the final, when you only have 7 minutes to change over and do some sighting shots.
So tell us about this. Tell us what you shooters are going through.
So now they have 7 minutes to change everything on their rifles, and after that they have to shoot some sighting shots. And I think that they are under the most big pressure now, because they have to be fast, and of course they have to continue the final with great shots.
Two athletes will be elected to be part of the athletes committee, so they'll be like
So,
lady.
Well, I mean, to us, 7 minutes seems like, you know, quite a long changeover period, but all of the shooters obviously say this is a very, it does put a bit more pressure on them. It's very fast time to do this kind of things. They would ideally like to have a little bit more.
This is the final of these World Championships.
And then, of course, it's trying to steady yourself and get calm again before shooting some more shots.
On the ISSF Facebook page, so we're streaming live over
Yes, it's very hard to do this changeover. And yesterday I also started the prone position with the 9.1, and I think that was all about the short time that we have to change over and do some sighting shots. And after that I could do some higher shots, but the first shot is always so hard.
Well, Morgan Phillips is quite efficient. She's in position. There's one other shooter currently in the prone position. No shots have come off yet, but they're just getting comfortable.
Yuku and Weibo, we're on them as well. We've got it all covered.
That's Nicole Gabrielli,
is
18-year-old Italian.
He's up there, so he's providing the vocals for the live stream. And he is joined by a very familiar name from this hall yesterday, Zalán Pekla of Hungary, who took the silver medal yesterday in the men's junior free position.
We're just being introduced to the crowd gathered here. But it's all about Zalán, of course. Our star, silver medalist.
Very much. This man who seems to be running away from me, that is Nick. Nick is our official ISSF photographer. He's one of the best photographers I know. He's essentially the David
Some
Bailey
shots
of
have
the ISSF. And all of
come
his
off now.
photos will go on
Phillips and
the
Gabrielli
ISSF
are the
website,
first
so we have a
ones who have
whole
taken
gallery
their
from this
sighting
competition
shots.
And also from ones gone by and ones in the future as well.
Zalán, in this changeover and the next one, is it important for you to take as many sighting shots as possible to get ready for the next stage? Is that an important element for you?
Yes, of course. It is very important to take as much sighting shots as you can. But, for example, if you start the sighting shots like the American girl, who shot immediately at 10.6, then you don't need to shoot a lot of sighting shots.
So I have questions prepared from
But she seems to be so concentrated now.
Yeah, 3 sighting shots for the Americans so far, all of them at least a 10.5.
Is this.
And she already has a big advantage.
Yeah. So what exactly do you change on the rifle between the kneeling and the prone positions, Zalán?
Actually, you have to change everything on the rifle, and I could say a lot of things, but yeah, it's so hard because you have to do it, for example, in 3 minutes, and for example, the cheek place, everything that you can imagine.
So it's important that you're organized, and the different shooters have different methods of getting themselves organized. They have them in a certain arrangement in their box, for example.
Yeah, yes, but as I can see, all of the girls was so fast because everybody started their sighting shots, and they have 2 minutes.
Moment in history. So, do I have any volunteers for the quiz? There's a hand up over here.
In this competition, which is your favoured position to shoot? Which one do you like most out of the kneeling, prone, and standing?
You're going to go shoot in a minute, so why did you volunteer?
Maybe my favorite is prone, but I like all of them. But the biggest results from me came from prone position.
You should be punished for trying to humiliate one of your team members here. You know, we won't stand for this nonsense here, Bob. Okay. Let's hear it for Bob, who's taking part in the quiz, whether he likes it or not. So, USA.
And that's Jamie's just
nation,
recruiting some unwilling quiz participants, it looks like, at the moment for the next changeover.
Someone from Germany.
There's 1 minute to go before we resume the final.
Come on, don't make this awkward. Running out of time.
You can see WVU on the leg
Yes,
of
you. Okay, you. I'm
one
looking
of
you.
the shooters
You
there.
are in
I'm
the
going to
quiz
say it's
against Bob
Phillips,
from the USA.
just
So
to
it's
assume.
Denmark versus
But in
United
case I'm
States of
wrong, I'm just going to say.
America.
And we understand that is the West Virginia University. And we've heard a lot about the American college programs where shooters are able to combine their studies with shooting and be in a really good environment for their sport and their studies.
Yes, they are very lucky
30
that they can
seconds.
combine shooting and studying in this level.
Yeah, and it is Morgan Phillips. I'm glad I was right there. Well, one of the Norwegian shooters, Henrik Larsson, which I'm sure many people know very well. He recently went over to Kentucky to take part in this kind of program. Tough traveling back and forth
Stop.
between Europe and America, but a good experience for him, he said. So the sighting shots are over and the final is about to resume with 3 series in the prone position, traditionally the highest scoring stage of the final, as the shooters are able to get some stability in the positions with their rifles lying down.
For the next competition, 3 low.
So here we go again. It's a 2.6
Stop.
advantage to remind, 2.4, I beg your pardon, to remind you. That's the advantage that Phillips has at the top of the scoreboard. .7 from Ivanova, 10.6 from Gabrielli. And Zarlan, because we expect so many high scores here, you can't really afford too many 9s or even low 10s in some cases, can you?
Yes, of course, everything can happen. And for example, in the qualification there was a very big wind, and it can affect what you shoot. But as I can see, there is no wind now, so they can shoot some high results.
And how, when there is that kind of wind that you're talking about, and you said it was during your qualification yesterday, how do you have to adapt your shooting when that is happening?
It is very hard to shoot during the bad weather conditions. You have to be very concentrated, and sometimes you have to put down your rifle and take, for example, 2 minutes to rest, and after continue your shots.
Some really good shots in prone so far. 10.7 from Phillips, the American, who has hit the 10 ring 4 times so far. Karimzadeh shot a 10.8, but then shot an 8.8. So she falls from 2nd all the way down to 7th, and she can't afford too many more of those shots in this final. Five excellent shots for the Italian Gabrielli. Well, all of them were high 10s, and she finishes that series with 52.9. That is easily her best series of the final so far. And, well, that's really, really good for the Italian, because she was 4.1 adrift of 7th place. She's now only 1.4 away from 7th place. What a series for Gabrielli. Well, Phillips's lead is approximately the same as it was. It's 2.6 now. Ivanova in 2nd place. The big change there really was the Iranian Karimzadeh, who dropped from 2nd to 7th.
3 low. Start.
Well, based on her qualification and the way she's performing in this final, it's going to be hard to stop Morgan Phillips, I think.
Yes, it will be hard to stop her.
10.8 from Ivanova, 10.6 from Gabrielli. .6 from the French girl Bourdet, youngest on the field of play today.
The Russian girl did a huge comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what happened to her during her first series. 47.5 it was, but she's shooting really, really well. She's come back very strongly from that poor first series. A couple of 10.5s came in from Gabrieli and Bourdais. Bourdais has also done very well. She was in 6th or 7th during the kneeling position, but she's made her way up to 3rd as it stands. And Bourdais finishes that series with 52.4. That's her best series of the final so far. Excellent shooting. I think there's going to be a couple of 52s here. Gabrieli follows a 52.9 with a 51.1. So we can see where the Italian is proving strongest.
Stop.
Ooh, well, Ivanova, 52.9 as well. Just like Gabrieli in the previous series. Brilliant shooting. And, well, look at this now. Now, Gabrieli, the Italian, is just 0.3 off 7th place. She's managed to make up a 4-point gap in 2 series.
It's now 0.3 between herself and 7th place. So we have one more series of 5 shots in the prone position now.
For the next competition series, low.
Well, I must have missed that, but the Russian Ivanova actually shot 52.9 for both of the prone series. That is amazing shooting. And I tell you, it means that Morgan Phillips is now only 0.7 ahead of the Russian. What a comeback. 10.8s from Stark and Gabrieli. Phillips can't afford to shoot any more 9s in this series, really, because she's going to be in danger of giving up the lead for the first time. It's a good shot from her, 10.5, 10.6 from Ivanova, 10.8 from the Iranian, Karimzadeh. Three 10s from the Iranian so far in this 3rd series in prone. It's another 9 from Phillips, 9.8.
The Russian girl took the lead from the American one.
Yes. Ivanova, as it stands, is now leading. 4 hits in the 10 ring. 10.7 from Stark. Jade Bourdais of France finishes with 51.9, a very, very good score for her, just below 52.4, which she finished in the 2nd series. 5 hits in the 10 ring for Ivanova, and she finishes that series on 51.6.
Stop.
And it is now Ivanova who's leading this final going into the standing series. Only by 0.1 though, it's very, very tight, but Phillips is going to need to claw her way back. Claw is a bit strong, it's only 0.1, but it is Ivanova who takes the lead for the first time. And amazing, really. I'll be fascinated to know how she felt during that first series where she shot a 47.
Everything can happen because standing is very hard.
It's extremely hard, yeah. Traditionally, you'll see the lowest scores of the final in the standing position. And, well, the amount of stability that you need.
Yes, it's all about the stability, because you have much more stability in prone and in kneeling, but in standing, you have to try to do your best.
Our athletes in 7th and 8th place will leave the competition. So in 8th place, as things
Yeah, the distance of the target as well. 50 meters away. tiny, tiny target, as we were saying on yesterday's commentary. If you're looking to hit a if you're looking to hit a 10.9, it's a 0.1 millimeter in diameter, which is really hard to quantify with something physical, but you're pretty much looking at the point of a pin to try and hit from 50 meters away amongst all the other conditions going on.
Five-point edge, yellow card is due before it's changeover.
So
Mr. Kim.
the
Okay, can I
chief
have
range
Bob
officer, Mr. Kim
down
Nam-hee,
here, please?
just
Bob.
gave a
And
warning
also,
to
random person from Denmark. I'm yet to
to
learn your name.
Zhang
Random person from
Xiao
Denmark and Bob.
Ming
You can make your way over here.
of China. Did you catch what that was for? Why she got a yellow card?
Because she started the changeover before the command.
Right, right. So no deduction for her, but just a warning. And Zhang is currently in 6th place. So from prone to standing, Zylan, is it another case where you need to change absolutely everything?
Yes, yes, you have to change everything. But now they have 9 minutes, and it's enough to do the changing.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, a lot of them are just changing
So our
their
contestants today taking part in the quiz.
rifle
Let me
clothes at
introduce
the
them to
moment.
you.
No one's in
You've met him
position.
already. It's contestant A, Bob, a coach from Team USA. Let's hear it for Bob. Bob will be going up against the Danish rifle shooter, Josephine.
So just if you heard that, our announcer Jamie is
some of you might have been here
taking
yesterday, I
Bob of
apologise.
the USA
We have
against
got
Josephine
different
of
questions.
Denmark in a little quiz
I'm
for
gonna
the
ask you
audience.
questions. That's how it's going to work. It's like question
For the
and answer format.
last
Kind of classic quiz
competition in
vibes,
this
to be
finals
honest.
hall of this World
You must
Championship.
let me finish asking the question and giving you the multiple choice options. It'll be A, B, and C.
Simon, it
Once
looks
I've
like there's a
delivered
little bit of a
option C,
breeze on the
first
field
person
now.
who puts their hand
So
up,
perhaps
will
this
come
will
to you.
change some of what the shooters
And
are going
then
to do for the standing.
you deliver the answer. If you
I
get it
don't
right,
think
you
so
get a
that it
point.
will
If you
change
get it wrong, you're
something. They don't have enough time to concentrate, for example, on the wind flags.
So a 0.1 lead for the Russian Ivanova at the moment. Going into the last stage. So in the standing, there's going to be 2 series of 5 shots, just like we've been used to in the final so far. But then at the end of the second series, it'll be a double elimination where 8th and 7th will be
Here is
decided.
question 1. In which year
And then it will
was
be 5
shooting
single
sport
shots
first
with
included in the
elimination
modern
each time
Summer
to end the
Olympics?
final.
Bob, you might remember this.
Here's
A,
the 20-year-old Russian you can see on screen at the moment.
1896, B, 1898, or C, 1894.
Couple of 20-year-olds in
Only 40 then.
the final
1896.
today. 4 of them, actually. Half of the field of
Is
play
the right
20 years
answer.
old.
If you said it, it's probably true. So I'm going to accept that as the right answer. It's a point for Bob, everybody. 1896 is when shooting sport, one of the oldest sports in the modern Olympics.
Well, a couple of
was
sighting
introduced.
shots have
Question
come off so
2.
far.
I feel like Bob has an unfair advantage
And
here as well.
Borodit of
Maybe,
France,
maybe.
well, she shot a
Who
7.1. It's only
became
sighting,
the
though.
first ever woman
7.8
to
from
compete
Stark.
in shooting at
Phillips
the
hasn't
Olympics?
yet taken
Was
a
it
sighting
A,
shot.
Susan Natras, B, Susan Matras,
There's Lolita Gaspard,
or C,
your teammate on the
Susan
left-hand
Boyle?
side, who we just saw on screen.
You can guess. You can guess. Okay.
Unluckily, they couldn't make it to the final today, but they were so close to the
She's
8th
quite a good
place.
singer, but I don't know what her shooting skills are like. I'm sorry, it was not Susan Boyle. Bob.
Yeah, I first saw
Exactly
Lolita when she was
correct. So it's 2
14 years
points for
old,
Bob, which means
and she won the
Josephine, you
Junior
need to get
European
the next 2
Championship
questions
in
right to keep your
the
hopes
Netherlands.
of
Yeah,
having a nice
and
cool
it was
alive.
it was a pleasure to announce that day, and pretty amazing to
How
see
many
such a
events
young girl
are there at
win it
this
at that time.
World
Yes, it was in 2015.
Yeah.
A63, B66.
Oh, well, look at this.
C,
Starker, the Swiss shooter's having a little bit of difficulty with her sighting shots. The
Josephine.
viewers can't see this, but we just saw that Stark hit a 7.8,
Is the right answer, is
then
point
a
for
4.
Josephine
She hit the
has
4-ring,
66
and then she's hit the
events at this
6.3.
World Championship. This is the final
So
rifle event in this
she's going to have to hope to dramatically
we are in
improve
Korea.
Before the final resumes in 2.5
English,
minutes.
When taking photographs,
Because otherwise
we
it
say
could be
cheese,
very difficult for
don't we?
her.
To get someone to smile, unless you're vegan. I don't know what you say then, but what do Koreans say? A, itchy. B, kimchi. Or C, Ed Sheeran.
I have to say it's a bit hard not to get distracted by Jamie. I hope the viewers can hear some of this entertainment.
You're going with A, itchy. Okay, my Korean friends here are shaking their heads in disgust at you, Bob. You're a marked man now. Okay, Josephine, you have a chance to get this.
Well, after 4
Kimchi.
quite poor sighting shots,
kimchi is
Stark
correct.
hits a
This is true,
10.3.
It's true, it's true, it's correct.
So hopefully
God
she's
bless
getting herself
Wikipedia.
ready for the
Okay, so is that
last stage.
2-2 now? Is that 2-2? 2-2. All right, this is a tie-break situation. You know what? I asked this question yesterday, and I wasn't satisfied. So I'm going to.
Well, Jade Bourdet, who's currently in
Which of the
3rd in this
following
final, is
considered
17
to
years
be one
old.
of the
She's the
world's
youngest
7 wonders
on the
of
field of play
nature
today by a
in
year.
Korea?
And she's never won a medal
Is
in
it
the
A,
3 positions final. She's only ever appeared in the final
B,
once in
the
this
Amazon
competition before.
rainforest
That was
.com?
6th
Or is it
place
C,
at the European Championships
my
last year.
hair?
And she's looking in a
about
good
this
position
one,
at the moment to
Josephine.
take away her
Well,
first medal, perhaps.
Very carefully. I mean, it shouldn't be a difficult question, this. I've got to push you for an answer. One of you.
Morgan Phillips, the American,
Josephine.
won her first
Just quite
medal
nice, but
in
is
3 positions this year. That was 3 months ago at the Junior
it
World Cup.
like one of the 7 wonders of nature? Right, okay, Josephine, you're out. Bob, what do you
So
think?
possibly the American carrying on her momentum from that Junior World Cup.
Okay, awkward.
And Zarlan, as
Okay,
a
did you
young
want to just
shooter, how does it feel
so
for
you
you
know
taking
what?
part
You know
in
what? I did this yesterday,
Junior
you
World
both
Cups
hammer
these days?
hands.
Because the ISSF
Sorry,
places
ISSF.
a lot of
ISSF.
emphasis on the Junior World Cups, and there's more and more young shooters coming through, and it must be good to have more exposure as a young shooter.
Yes, it is very good that we have some junior World Cups. And for example, this year I was in Sydney, and I won 2 medals there. And these kind of competitions also give a lot of experience for young
Sure.
shooters.
Yeah. Well, it
Stop.
prepares you in final conditions for even bigger events like this. So valuable experience, really. So generally at the moment, we have about 2 Junior World Cups throughout the season. That started in, well, we had a Junior World Cup in 2015. There was just one then, but then the year after we had a couple. I believe in Gabala and Seoul again. Seoul is pretty much the traditional venue
For the
in
next
Germany where we have
competition,
Junior World Cups.
Roll.
It will be again next year, and there'll be another one in Lima, in Peru, which will be a nice tourist trip for some of the young shooters as well, to see
Yeah.
some wonderful landscapes. Well, the final is just about to resume again, or it has resumed rather, and we're now in the standing stage. This is where it's going to matter. Stark with a 7.1 to start the standing stage. A 10.6 from Ivanova. Well, I have to say that it's her now, or it's she rather, who is starting to look unstoppable. 10.4 from Bourdet. Stark is really taking a while to take her second shot, trying to recover from a 7.1. Ooh, well, not so unstoppable there with the Russian. 8.2 means that Morgan Phillips is able to take back the lead as it stands. 10.1, and a good comeback from Stark. 10.1 for her as well. And with that 10, the Swiss jumps up a couple of places. .3 from Phillips, 10.4 from Burde. A 10.2 from Ivanova. So 3 out of 4 in the 10 ring for the Americans so far. Well, Gabrielli, the Italian, had a really, really good prone stage. She finishes standing with 47.5, 0.3 off 7th place. That's really good from Phillips, who finishes with 50.2. Same score, 50.2 for Karamzadeh of Iran, who is in 5th place at the moment. There's a chance that Shu of China could finish above 51.
It is very hard to shoot about 50 points in the first 5 standing shots.
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah. Well, there's 1, 2, 3. Only 3 shooters managed above 50. 2 of them were 50.2. That was Karimzadeh and Phillips. But a very good series for Shu of China, who's appearing in her first 3P final. She shot 51.1, very strong for her. And she is now only 0.1 behind Borde of France, who's currently in the medal positions, bronze medal position.
And Stark in the danger zone. So after the next 5 shots, 8th and 7th will be eliminated.
For the next competition, 3 load.
So there's another 5-shot series now, and at the end of this 5-shot series, it's a double elimination. It's Gabrielli and Stark who are currently in the bottom 2 positions. Stark just shot an 8.9. She finished her first series on 46 points, did Stark, which was the lowest of the 8 athletes. So she could be in danger of being eliminated at the end of this series. 10.4 from Karimzadeh. Shu of China briefly takes the medal position from Burde by shooting a 10.6. 2 9s from Phillips so far. She's going to have to be careful not to slip down too far. Also a couple of 9s for Ivanova, which means that Shu has been able to climb into 2nd. 2 10s for Shu so far. 10.5 from the other Chinese shooter, Zhang. 3 9s for Phillips. She is still leading.
She still has a big advantage.
Yeah. As it stands, it's about 2.5 at the moment.
But the Chinese girl keeps continuing her beautiful standing shots.
Yes, she's shot 3 times now in this series, and 2 of them have been 10.6s. Excellent shooting. That's 4 9s for Morgan Phillips now. Ivanova shot a 10.3 with her 3rd shot, and Gabrielli, her 5th shot was a 10.9.
And also a 10.9 from the Iranian girl.
Right. Yes, Karimzadeh 10.9 with her fourth shot. Now that was significant for Gabrielli because she was in the bottom two places, but she's now in 6 coming towards the end of this standing stage. And Stark shot an 8.2, and that is certainly going to eliminate her now.
The Chinese girl took the lead from Phillips.
Yes, well, Xu Hong is now in first place. Well, that was a very difficult series for the American. Her weakest of the whole competition so far. 46.7 for Morgan Phillips means she's now in second, and that's 1 point behind Chinese Xu Hong, who finishes with 51.8. That is excellent shooting from the Chinese shooter. 2 series in the standing, and both of them over 51. Great shooting from her. Well, it's going to be Franziska Stark who takes 8th place for Switzerland, and that replicates her position at the Junior World Cup in Seoul in June. So it's now at the World Championships.
On 399.8, representing Italy is Nicole Gabrielli.
And Nicole Gabrielli of Italy finishes in 7th. She ended on a high with a 10.9. It wasn't quite enough, but she does finish in 7th, does the 18-year-old Italian. And that is her first international final, so very well done to her at the World Championships.
1 point lead over Phillips in 2nd place.
Well, unless something really dramatic happens, it does look like that. Zhang Xiaoying of China, the 20-year-old, who's competing in her first final, is going to be eliminated next because she's got 3 points to make up. It looks a little bit tough to ask for her.
As things stand, is Zhang of China, 3.1 away from.
So Phillips going to need some good comeback to take the lead in the final 5 shots of this competition. She's 1 point behind Chinese Xu at the moment.
Start.
And it's just like you said, Zarlan, the standing stage is so important to be strong because before the standing stage, Xu had not been in the medal positions at all. But such a good standing stage has seen her now lead the competition.
Yes, standing is every time so hard. And actually, yesterday I lost the gold medal in standing position because my first 10 shot was not the best. And that's why standing is so important here.
Taking 6th place, representing.
So it is Zhang Xiaoying of China who takes 6th place at the World Championships in her first ever final. So well done to her. Congratulations.
409.3, and Xu remains in the lead. That lead has gone up by 0.1, so it's now 1.1.
Karimzadeh, the Iranian, currently in 5th, and she's 1 point behind 4th now. Jade Bourdet of France has slipped out of the medal positions, 1.6 away now, and that happened during the standing stage. So it's all single shots. 4 more shots to go.
Low. Start.
One point difference between these two. Brilliant shot from Bourdet, 10.7, and that's going to be enough to guarantee her at least 4th place. Oh, well, it's a 9.5 from Phillips and Xu 10.4, so that means the Chinese shooter going to increase her lead a little bit. Oh,
Stop.
it's a disappointing shot to finish. It was confirmed anyway, but it's a 7.4 from Karimzadeh. And so it is 5th place for the 19-year-old Iranian. And that's a very, very respectable finish for her first 3 positions final. So congratulations to the Iranian.
In the 3
it's gonna be so exciting because there is only 0.9 disadvantage.
Yes, well, really anything can happen in these last 3 shots because there's a 0.1 difference now between Ivanova in third and Phillips in second, and a 0.9 for Bordet to try and steal a medal place with this next shot. Xu Hong, who you can see on screen at the moment, is now looking in a very commanding position. She's 2 points ahead with 3 shots to go.
Start.
Oh, it's an 8.9 for Morgan Phillips. 10.1 from Bordet, 9.2 from Ivanova. Oh!
Stop.
And the American has fallen out of the medal positions in the last shot.
Of America is Morgan Phillips.
She looks so commanding for so much of the final, and she goes away without a medal. It's still a very respectable finish, but it was a difficult standing series for the 20-year-old Morgan Phillips. So she finishes 4th at the World Championships. Well, very well done to her. It is still her second final this year.
Xu is still the leader, meanwhile, 2.1 lead over second place, which is both our athletes. Bordet and Ivanova, they are tied in at second spot, both on 4-3-4.
Jade Bordet has managed to get back into the medal positions. Not only that, but she's in joint second with Ivanova now.
For the next competition shot.
So she's guaranteed her, well, actually all 3 of these shooters are guaranteed their first ever medals in 3P. So joint second for Bordet and Ivanova, who you can see on screen now. Could we see something dramatic with this next shot? Great shot from Bordet, 10.5. The pressure's on the Russian. She needs at least a 10.5, 9.5 from Xu. Oh, it's an 8.7 from the Russian. So it's going to be Maria Ivanova, 20 years old, from Russia, who takes her first medal in 3 positions. It's a bronze, so very well done to her. And there's now a 1.1 difference. It looks kind of healthy between Xu and Bordet, but it's certainly possible for Bordet to perhaps even snatch the gold medal, and that would be a dramatic finish if that was to happen. But there's a 1.1 difference between Xu and Bordet now.
This next shot is for the gold medal.
This is the Chinese shooters' 3rd ever final. 2 of them have been in air rifle. One of them earlier this year. She won silver at the ISSF World Cup in Mexico. And she was the Asian champion in 2016. Her 3rd final and her 3rd medal guaranteed.
This is the hardest part of the final, the last shot in standing.
So let's see what they can do. Is there going to be one last twist? No.
Wow.
Oh, well. They both shot 10.5, so it was a great finish for both of them. But the junior world champion is China's Xu Hong. Her 3rd final ever, her 3rd medal from it. And she's the junior world champion. Congratulations. Great shooting and a fantastic standing stage from her as well. And again, a really good standing stage from Bordet, which saw her sneak back into the, or force her way back into the medal positions, and she takes an excellent silver medal at the Junior World Championships. So very well done to the 17-year-old French girl as well. So here they are, just having a short presentation for the crowd. Bronze for Maria Ivanova of Russia.
Maria Ivanova.
Silver medal for Jade Bordet of France. Her 2nd career medal after being the junior European champion in air rifle last year. And the new junior world
And the
champion
gold medal,
is the
representing
20-year-old
People's
Chinese
Republic of
shooter,
China,
Xu
goes
Hong.
to Xu Hong.
Well, very well done to her, and to all of them, and to all of the participants. Zalan Kusanam,
Thank you so much. It was a big pleasure to be here with
thank you very much for joining us today. It was great to watch you yesterday. Congratulations again on your silver medal, and we'll wish you luck for the coming years and hope to see you in the next season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you as ever to you at home for watching. You can follow the ISSF on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. We're also on Chinese social media, Weibo. And we'd like you to like, subscribe and share as we come towards the end of these championships and get us ready for hopefully another big season in the world of shooting sport. Thank you so much as ever for your support, and we'll see you again.
Thank you. 徐红，你好，你好。我想问你几个，我一会儿。
The bronze medal representing the Russian Federation goes to Maria Ivanova. The silver medal representing France goes to Jade Bourdet. The gold medalist and junior world champion representing the People's Republic of China, Xu Hong. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the People's Republic of China.
모두 자리에서 일어서 주시기 바랍니다. 중국의 국가 연주가 있겠습니다.
and gentlemen, we congratulate the winners of the Junior Women's 50-meter rifle 3 positions.
네, 50m 소총 3자세 여자 주니어 종목의 메달 수상자들입니다.
We'll now take some photographs of the medal winners.
네, 사진 촬영이 진행되고 있습니다.